halfway, and I did not penalize you for doing so well, right? In the future, don't do that. Use ChatGPT, like I said, as a stepping stone. Get your ideas, get the information, break it down into your own words, then get academic references to then play your tune. And that's how you come up with an amazing piece of work, okay? But more than that, guys, I think you guys did well, and I'm very happy. And it was a small class. I think we were just about 58 students or something like that, 53 students. So on the whole, I am happy. Your test, on the other hand, we gave you feedback already in class. That was dismal. That was like, I couldn't understand where you went wrong, how you went wrong, and why you went wrong. Only to allude you to the fact that you guys studied without a textbook. And I even told you in the past, that is not going to be possible. You have to have a textbook. What was the average mark, ma'am? Was the highest and the lowest. Okay. We'll give you the stats to that just now. I don't know if Domi actually sends me, but I know my administrator here at the Westfield campus sends me the graph. But yeah, it was a rough between 60. If you scored 60, consider yourself doing well. So it was between 60 and 75. I think one or two students had 80. That was excellent. But you'll be able to cross-check your work between someone who got 85 and someone who got 55 or 60. You'll be able to see very clearly that I didn't put in enough. But trust me, you have done well, okay? As opposed to the rest of the world. You have done well. And I know that you're going to do well even in your exam. So rest assured, you're going to do well. Okay. All right, so we are going to proceed straight into revision. That's what the aim was. Okay, before we do the revision, guys, let's just go to the your Learn page quickly. And you'll see at the bottom of your Learn page, I'm not sure if I posted it for this module, but we can just do it very quickly. You'll be able to see that yes, there is a QPA evaluation. It's called QPA evaluation, right? You're going to fill out that form very quickly for me, giving me the nicest remarks. Be honest. Tell us what you thought. Tell us how you managed the module. Tell us anything. Uh, uh, just be honest, and we will then continue. So once you've completed that QPA evaluation, then we're going to go on to doing some intensive exam revision. All right, so while you're preparing for that, let me call up my revision exercise, my revision worksheet, and so we can just do some revision. Okay, once you're done filling in the QPA, guys, you send me a chat on the message to say done, and in that way we can proceed. All right, I think we have how many students in the class today? We have about 40 students. So yeah, let's just get cracking on that. It shouldn't take us more than 5 minutes. Thank you. Any questions at this point? Any questions, guys? So you're going to see your QP evaluation right here. EB semester 1, Howard College. You're going to click it. It'll open up to some 10 easy questions. And you're going to do that. Does this module have tutorials? No. On the tutorials one, you're going to say not applicable. Okay. I'm glad that you already started this because I remember this question. Okay, yeah. So you're just going to say not applicable where it doesn't relate to you, but everything else that relates to you, you're going to then score it accordingly. Thank you. These evaluations really mean a lot to me. They go into my teaching portfolio. And of course, year after year, I just try to do the best I can, whatever the case is, whatever the situation, whatever the space we are in, so that my students can just continue doing the best they can. So yeah, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do that, and then we're going to proceed. Okay, thank you. Okay, I see many students are completing it. That's amazing. Done, 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 done. That's amazing. We're going to give you 5 more minutes to just wrap that up, even less than 5 minutes. We'll start in a few seconds. Okay, I still haven't even received half the class. Is there a delay? Is there any delay? Is everybody okay? I see students are still getting done with it. Okay, great. Okay, let's progress into the revision. I know that students will um do this maybe just a little later on. But more than that, let's just move straight into our revision. Okay, so at this point in time, what can you see on my screen? What can you see on my screen? Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions, brief questions. Okay, first let's take it like this, right? Let's ask you to ask me some questions. Is there anything that you don't understand? Is there anything that's giving you a little bit of a hassle? Is there anything you want me to clarify? Like that, okay? Just to reiterate, your exam is 2 hours. You have section A and section B in the paper. You have 1 compulsory question out of 50 marks. And you have section B, choose 2 out of the 3 questions. So for me, I'm spending about 45 minutes on the main question, which wouldn't take you that long if you know your work, right? And then at least 40 minutes on the latter in section B. Okay, so the same setup for the sub. I don't expect to see anyone in the sub because you're all going to do so well in the main. But yeah, it's always the case that someone might miss the main or might defer the main and then meet me in the sub, which is no problem. But I trust that you write my paper, you pass my paper, and you do well, and you're out. Okay. So without any further ado, can you all hear me nice and clearly? How to answer the short questions. Interesting. I'm going to tell you that. Is there any multiple choice? Nope, there's no multiple choice. Okay. Your teaching and learning dean said this is an EXA accredited exit module, something like that. And MCQs are accepted in your test, really in the exam. But if ever I can just concentrate on short questions in the exam, that would be better. And I like to follow rules also, and I like to be guided by my seniors. So I was very happy to just set all questions, even though it's going to be quite a lot of marking. Please clarify on how do you expect us to answer short questions in a way. I don't know what the DRs for DR for me is doctor. Would like us to explicitly answer. Okay, so guys, let's just do brief short question answering, right? if you get a question, say for instance, you get a question on the question that came out in your test, right? The organization and the external environment and the opportunities and threats and whatever, right? Just say discuss the environments with practical examples, right? Just say hypothetically that's your question. Okay, you're going to have an introduction. You're going to have the internal environment. You're going to draw your little onion where you have the internal environment, the task environment, and the macro environment. And then you're going to have the write-up, right? So you're going to do an introduction. You're going to tell me what the environments are. You're going to tell me how important it is for the organization to have a good idea on the external environment as well as the internal environment. At this point, you can give me one or two examples saying that as consumer demands change in the external environment, the internal environment needs to adapt and adjust to such demands, something like that. Not necessarily, but just 10 lines on a nice, healthy introduction. You're going to then dive into the internal environment. Now, remember, if the question comes out with, like in your test, it came out the external environment related to the macro variables in relation to the VUCA principle. Very detailed, very narrowed, very, very to the point. Now, an exam question could be, identify the environments at large using practical examples. So what you're going to do, you're going to look at the internal environment. You're going to tell me it's made up of the mission, the vision, the strengths, weaknesses, staff, strategies, goals, resources, everything that happens inside the organization. Okay? And then you're going to give me examples, right? You're going to tell me that the vision is this, and we're in keeping with what we are, what we want to strategically aim for. So our vision, where we want to be and where we are and where we want to be. Then you talk about your staff. Are they good? Are they capable? Are they have the capacity, skills, expertise, experience? If not, you tell us how you're going to invoke this training and development, constant motivation, constant intrinsic and extrinsic rewards, being able to get them to do better. So you change it into a strength. Whatever the case might be, now is your time to go to ChatGPT and ask them, right? Internal environment, Ma'am is trying to teach you how to cheat also, right? And then you're going to build. Now you take that, you plug it into Word, and you rock it. You write your own answers. You come up with 1,000 words. You study that. You come to the exam room fully prepared to write a question. You then go on to the external. Then you talk about the task environment. You break it up, consumers, intermediaries, suppliers, competitors. You tell me who they are. You tell me what they mean to the organization, right? You go to the external environment. You do the same. You unpack political, economical, social, technological, legal, etc. Okay? And then you tell me what they mean. We've done this intensively in class. I remember giving you practical examples. I remember telling you the whole thing. You fail, I don't know what to tell you, right? Okay, so that's how you answer it. And then you conclude. You conclude by saying that without a doubt, it's important for businesses and managers and leaders within organizations to understand the dire happenings of the internal and the external environment, have enough sufficient information in order to take strategic decisions. You conclude by saying that if we are informed about the happenings in the internal and the external environment, it will help us to plan ahead. It will help us to manage our goals and objectives within the different functional units, whatever the case might be. You just do a simple conclusion. Now, remember, for every question, you got to have an introduction, you got to have a conclusion, because marks are allocated to these. Okay? Now, I've done this question quite intensively. You're going to do the next questions. Right. Just say, for instance, you get a question on, remember, your exams is all your chapters, okay? So your questions can come out from any chapter. If you look at creativity, right? Creativity drives business ventures. Okay, so how can a business be creative? How can a business be successful using the creative process? So again, you'll have to go in, define it, discuss it, talk to it, etc. Okay, the same, last 2 weeks ago, we did organizational structure, right? And we looked at the different structures. So you can't come into the exam room and write me some 2, 3 paragraphs and thinking it's okay. How on earth am I going to give you 25 marks if you don't even have 25 points? Not to say that you must have 25 points to get 25 marks, but I'm just saying justify me giving you marks if you got 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. I can't. You understand? So again, we've done that. I also told you in class that it's a very important section. And I remember the day we did a communication, right? I told the class that barriers of communication is an important section. Yes, it is an important section, but remember, any question that comes out needs to be in relation to, no, a question will come out. You have to answer the question. Like I just gave you the example of the environments, right? Then the question could be very general. There could be no question at all, if ever, right? But if, as an example, if you get a question on the environments, discuss the environment. You go to town because you got so much to discuss. But if it comes out in like how we did in your test, you don't have to talk about the internal environment. You don't have to talk about the task environment. You go dive straight into the macro environment. So again, it's important that you understand. Like I remember this day was very poor attendance in class, and I was so upset with the students. And I said, "Gosh, this is ridiculous. Where is everybody?" And it's our last 2 weeks, our last 3 weeks, and I was so sad that we only had like 20 students in the class. But nevertheless, so barriers to communication. Yeah, if you don't make it through the main, you'll find me in the sub, right? When you're looking at communications, there's the a very important chapter when we looked at communications today. We're using new technologies, right? I'm literally going through the chapters and unpacking stuff that you guys missed out on. Okay. This is nice. It's a nice question. It's how has COVID-19 prepared us to operate virtually? Right? Like, how am I giving you this lecture now? It's a full-on, super awesome, power-packed lecture. We can do this only because we have the ability to connect with each other, to connect to each other, right? And this is happening worldwide. Businesses are being so successful just because they're able to use digital technology to enhance communication, to enhance processes, business processes. So again, it's become very, very critical that we understand how these technologies have impacted in the workplace in relation to communication and aided us to communicate virtually. You see, so again, remember, if a question comes out with practical examples and you don't add the practical examples, then you already lost half the marks. Okay, so please be very mindful about the question. Now, just say, for instance, you get a question and I'm reading straight out. I don't know if it's the main or the sub. If you see it, you see it, but I'm hoping you don't see it. Discuss the importance of ethics and corporate social responsibility. Your answer should include the forces that shape ethical conduct. Now, can you see this is a twofold question? You got to discuss ethics, introduce it, talk about social responsibility, talk about the importance of social responsibility. And then in the second part of the essay, you're going to look at how it shapes ethical conduct. As an engineer, what would you do to make sure you're in the right place? Now, if you answered your assignment properly, you're going to have no doubt you'll answer this. But you're not going to see it because you're going to pass the main. Right. Guys, so can you see managerial competencies? Every manager should possess competencies, right? Capabilities, skills. Use practical examples to identify those. Okay, so let's not deliberate and further ponder over all the chapters now, because I think I've already been through like 7 chapters with you. Are you getting how to answer questions? Do you understand how to answer questions? Do you understand the purpose of today's 10 minutes? I trust that you are. You're smart kids and you know better than that, okay? Are there any questions? Are there any further questions from your side? I want you to do well. I want you to do, this is the 8 credit module. The last thing you want is for this module to stress you out, guys. Really. You can't afford for this module to stress you out. You should have bagged this module long ago now, by now, right? So go through the stuff I've told you about. The environments are very important. The organizational structure, effective communication. What else did I tell you about? Quite a lot of things. Now I can't remember, huh? Right? I think we spoke about creativity somewhere along the line, and we made you understand. What about that McKinsey seven principles to good corporate governance in relation to organizational design? Yeah, complicated, don't stress. But yeah, you understand where I'm at. You understand what I'm saying. You are going to be fully ready for this paper. Some of you, if you want to do your short questions, maybe choose some questions within the chapters, flip through them like what I'm doing right now, and just say, you know what, ma'am, I did this question on the creative process, and I'm looking at it from a business angle and how it's going to enhance business acumen and business decisions. Can you just check it out for me? I'll be more than happy to tell you, yes, you're on the right track. These are tick boxes. Maybe focus on that. Maybe focus on that. After a few, you could literally answer all these questions in one night. If you focus and just say, today I'm doing managing business, engineering business. Today I'm studying that. You unpack all your questions. You create these beautiful answers, and you literally start learning them. Forget about reading every single page in the textbook now. Forget about trying to by heart that textbook. It's too late, right? You would have already had a good understanding of your subject material if you've been working with it time after time. Okay, are there any questions?
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am.
No, sure.
Are we supposed to be seeing your screen?
No, are you?
No. It's fine, ma'am.
You nearly give me a heart attack, Shu.
I see.
Oh my God, you nearly give me a heart attack. I nearly just died on my chair. Okay, yeah. That's why I asked you, what are you seeing? Okay, but I verbally told you everything that I was seeing. You see, so you're gonna be in a good space, and I know you're gonna do well. And yeah, I just look forward to your exam scripts now. Okay, another pointer is some students write so well. Some students write like with different color pens, and they highlight the examples, and they tell me where to look for this and that, because it's all so evidently available to me. It's not in a botched up huge massive paragraph. I'm not saying anything wrong with paragraphs, but I'm also saying when you're looking at the task environment or even the internal environment, put little arrows and say employees, discuss it. Then a little arrow saying the mission and the vision, discuss that. Then another little arrow, goals, objectives, and the aims. What does it mean for the internal organization? Then resources, another little arrow, what does that mean? Now, I don't have to read your work. You understand? If your shield does that, I don't have to, I'm just going to close my eyes and give you 50 out of 50 because I know you know your work. Right? If Ben does that, like, okay, this is consumers, ma'am. This is competitors. This is intermediaries. These are suppliers. This is what they do for the business. I'm not even reading. I'm not joking, guys. I am not even reading. I am just going to give you I see someone's recording me. That is so clever, right? I'm not going to give you any stress. I'm going to just mark you well because I know you know your work. You understand? So direct me to the examples, direct me to the parts I need to see. And that's how, as a student, I won my game. So I'm teaching you again how to win your game, right? I know that you don't have many theoretical modules. But in the theoretical modules, try to be smart about how you write. Try to write to get the marks. You understand? So I think I've said a lot. Yeah, so you have to read the question. I told you a lot today, but not to say I gave you a question or not to say I held something back. I went through the different chapters. I pointed out what's important, but you will still need to dive into it and look at it from what the question expects. You understand? What the question expects, and that's how you answer. And I gave you a nice example between the general environments, a question on all the environments, and a question that came out in your test. If you learned all the environments and you came there to write your test, and some of them did, you only got half the marks because I was only looking for the macro environment. And you may not have spent a lot of time on the macro environment because it's actually the last component of the essay. And you're now dwelling on things that I don't need. I can't mark it. It's a very beautiful answer for a wrong question. You understand? So like that. Okay, would you advise against deferring? Because some of us are writing very next day, so there's not a lot of time. You know what? I would so strongly say, get it over with, study, get it over with. The main is way easier than the sub. If you write the sub, oh, it's just gonna be your baby. But it's your choice. But my advice to you is write the main, get it over with. I've already told you enough. You can even go in blinded. You still will do well. You still will do well. Like I'm saying, just sit down. Even after this lecture, you still got 1 hour to go, right? Because we're literally done, right? You don't have to worry. Are we expected to know any acronyms like FUCA? No, don't worry. I'm not going to kill you now, okay? I killed you in the test. Now it's time for me to send you out gracefully, okay? So no killing students now at this point. Okay, so nice question. So that's why I say I encourage you to ask questions because when asking questions, you also help others to get out of their fear also, right? But like I said, no, definitely not you. Ooh, no. Those are not graceful occasions at all. They're actually major disasters, if ever. Deep breath. I don't even like to think about it. Right? So you guys are going to be fine. You guys are going to be fine. What was I telling you before this? Yeah, so if you sit now, even in the next 1 hour, from 9:15 to 10:15, just close your eyes and just focus on management. Like this is what ma'am said to us. Go work in packs. Work in your student friend circle. Like guys, you do this, I'm doing that, you do that, you do that. Change. Come on, you must just be smart. You're engineering students, right? You are smart kids. That's all I know. And then before you know it, you got 10 essays and everybody knows everything. And then you apply it to the question. The question might be phrased differently, but you got the crux of the matter. You understand? You got the gist of it. So you should be fine. Okay, so guys, that's all from me. It was an absolute pleasure being your lecturer this semester. And to my class reps, I think it was Kuvyeshan, and I can't remember his name. I can't remember your names right now. Please forgive me. Thank you for just being able to stand in and even like I told you, there's not much to do, but yeah, if you want me to sign off some document saying that you are a class rep for this module and you want to attach it to your CV, just showing some leadership characteristics, etc., I'm more than happy to do that. Just type up something. I'll edit it and put it on a nice letterhead. And of course, somewhere along the line in life, it just carries weight somehow. I don't know, but somehow. Okay, I still got a letter from my dean when I was a student 20 years ago, Professor Bonke Dumisa. And at the bottom of the letter, he said, I promise you guys, I think I actually have the letter. Let me look for it quickly. It actually said something about she's going to make a difference to the world. Like if ever she's given a chance in South Africa, she needs to take it. Like, I was like, what? Really? He's like, you don't see what I see. And I was like, oh my God, okay. But I haven't yet grown all my wings. I'm still taking off and I probably will get there eventually. But yeah, I am definitely, or this is the one he wrote to me recently. Okay. I got that old letter in my office. It's actually discolored and all of that at the moment. So, you never know when these things can help you. And yeah, I'm willing. I can't even find it now because I got a special folder in my laptop for CV details, but I can't find it now. But don't worry about it. But yeah, also for those of you who filled out the questionnaire, I really appreciate that. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are still going to fill out the questionnaire, please do so. Like I said, it's so meaningful to me. It adds to my teaching portfolio. Like I'm trying to add to your CV. We have to help each other. It's a create a win-win situation. And yeah, thank you, Kumeshan. We're amazing. Thank you. That you guys allowed me to be this way, right? You feed a lot of your energy, a lot of your energy is fed off of your students. So like that, I try to continuously just do my best for my students. Okay, so it'll be nice if you could just retype that out in an email, commission. No one's going to see this chat, unfortunately. Right? So then I can just print that out also and just be strategic. Guys, we have to be strategic. Nowadays, everything we do, we have to account for. Everything we do, we have to capitalize on it. So you might think like, man, it's being crazy. Now I have to send an email. No, I'm not being crazy. I'm being strategic. You don't know 2 years from now, 3 years from now, that simple email that you sent me, just a letter of gratitude, of appreciation, of just saying thank you, ma'am, can mean so much. So also you too in life, capitalize on every opportunity you get. Make the most out of it so that you can continuously do your best time after time. Okay, so I look forward to a few emails. I'm looking at the chat now and I'm having so many direct messages. Thank you so much for everything, ma'am. We really appreciate it. Love having you as my lecturer. I enjoyed teaching you as well. And I trust that I left a mark on you, and going forward, you too will become successful business owners. I have very good friends, Jan and Jet. Some of you may know Jet. He's an engineer and an architect. He also does architecture, and he's based in Westfield, and he's very, very, very successful across for now 2 decades. He's just rocking it. So he's just doing the best. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Hopefully my English isn't as broken as you hoped it to be. No, I would never do that. Your English is perfect. Okay. You just write me some good sentences in that exam and you will get your answer. You will get your marks. Okay, look out for your paper also. Yeah, somewhere along the line, you feel free to just if you see me somewhere, just say hi. I'd really like to know your successes in the future. And yeah, I just wish you well always. Right. If there's no comments from you, I look forward to the QPA being completed. I'll also just put up a notice reminder so that students can just quickly attend to it. And more than that, send me some nice gratitude emails. I really appreciate it, guys. Okay. If there's no further comments from your side and there's no, can we all pass? Yes, yes, all of you are going to pass. Don't you stress. Like I told you in the first lecture, I'm not going to fail you. Students fail themselves. There's no ways I'm going to fail you. You can only fail yourself. You understand? So just do your best. Just do your best and come there and I'll do my share. Like how they say, you do your best and God will do the rest. That's it. That's like more than less the principle that I live on. Okay, so I'm constantly doing my best because I know God is going to do the rest. Right. On that note, let's let that be the parting shot. We look forward to seeing you in exams. I'll probably do a stroll while you guys are writing, but not necessarily because you guys I don't think you're going to have any queries. The questions are straight out, simple. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you around next semester when I teach the next lot of students. But yeah, just just say hi like that. Take care, guys. Take care and all the best always. You can start exiting the classroom one by one. If you haven't filled in the QPA, please do so. And thank you for those who have done. And yeah, all the best. Mishka, Mo, Michael, all the best. Sandiso, John, everybody. Samkelo. Okay. If you have any questions, you can remain behind. But if you don't have any questions, you can exit the class quietly. Miksha, please send me a nice email. Thank you for your message in the chat, but a nice email will be so nice.